Hello, I'm Jason Wood, the Marketing and Communications Manager at ANAD. Here at ANAD, we've been providing free peer support services to those suffering from eating disorders for more than 45 years. Now, to learn a little bit more about ANAD and our programs, I'm going to toss it on over to our Executive Director, Kristen Portland.
ANAD believes in the power of peer support and community, and you'll see that across all of our services. Our support groups are free, easy to access, and open to the public. They meet online and are led by recovered, trained volunteers. Our mentorship program pairs folks in recovery with people who are still working to get there, meeting weekly for 6 months. And our helpline isn't just a place to get referrals, but it's a place to connect. As the only eating disorder specific warm line, our volunteers are there to talk to people when they just need to connect for a minute and can't get a hold of their regular teams. Everything free, open to the public, and driven by the belief that peers have a lot to offer and community is important.
The theme for Eating Disorder Awareness Week this year is It's Time for Change. And I love this theme because there are so many different ways that we can apply it to eating disorder awareness and eating disorder recovery. First and foremost, it is time for change when it comes to awareness. Did you know that about 10% of Americans will face an eating disorder at some point in their lifetime? Or that eating disorders are the second deadliest mental illness, only behind opioid overdose? But yet we're not talking about it enough. We need to do more to educate our communities and to raise awareness around the realities of eating disorders. It's also time for change when it comes to fair and equal access for all. Members of BIPOC are 50% less likely to receive the help and treatment that they deserve. And unfortunately, many marginalized communities face systemic inequality when it comes to our mental health care systems. We need to change that now. It's also time for change when it comes to the stereotypes around eating disorders and the education that is out there. There are so many stereotypes that say eating disorders have a certain look or can only happen to a certain subset of individuals. But the truth is, they can happen to anyone. Trust me, I know a guy it happened to. I myself recovered from an eating disorder, but I didn't think it could happen to me. I thought guys didn't have eating disorders. I was wrong. Eating disorders do not discriminate, and they can happen to anybody, regardless of age, gender, body size, sexual orientation, race, and background. And it's also time for change when it comes to diet culture. Diet culture is so ingrained in our society right now that we've normalized so many harmful sayings and words around our bodies and around our diets. Think about it. The last time you went out to dinner, did somebody say, "Ooh, I'm going to have a cheat day today and I'm going to go all in"? Or, "Oh, I'm going to be bad tonight and have dessert." Or, "Ooh, I'm going to be good and just get the salad." It's like we've turned eating and dieting into a crime. If we're eating a certain food, then we're good, and if we eat another food, we're bad. But that's not the way it should be. And unfortunately, this type of rhetoric can only fuel eating disorders. And we're even seeing it have an impact on children. 4 in 5 children are afraid of becoming fat. And one survey showed that 91% of college women turn to dieting to control their weight. So it's clear that we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So how can we get there? Well, I've got 3 quick tips that I'm going to share with you tonight. And the first one is spread awareness, whether it's within your community, whether it's within your social network, or it's there on your campus. There are so many different ways that you can start these conversations. Go to anad.org and download our social media guide. We've got some great posts that are certain to get some conversations started. Or perhaps plan an awareness event, or just have a casual conversation with a friend or family member about eating disorders, because you never know who needs to hear it. Number 2 is to watch your mouth. Be mindful of the way that you talk about your body and your appearance around others. Be mindful of what you post on social media. Be authentic on there and seek to connect rather than compare. And while we're on the topic of social media, I suggest going on there and finding 5 new accounts that promote body neutrality or promote eating disorder awareness and give them a follow. Let's build this community up because there is strength in numbers. And my third tip is to share your story, whether you've experienced an eating disorder yourself or you've just overcome other obstacles in your life. There is so much power in storytelling, and that's how we can break down some of these walls that exist between us. This is how we can embrace vulnerability and spread vulnerability so that others know that they're not alone, that help is available, and that they are worthy of help. So those are just 3 quick things that you can do in your everyday life to enact this change that is so badly needed. Before I go tonight, one additional bonus tip I want to provide you with is to never stop learning. Visit ANAD.org and check out our resources on eating disorders and different guides for various circumstances or situations that might arise. The more you learn, the more you can help enact the change that is needed. And I know that together, anything is possible. So thank you so much for your support of ANAD, and we look forward to continuing this conversation with you down the road. Take care.